Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I know you've seen me most probably a few times today, but I'm actually going to make this the video of today. Because, like I said, um, I think I made previous mistakes of obviously making videos in the morning or in the middle of the day, and not having enough time to you know not grasp the facts, but obviously I miss stories, and then I end up having to do 2 or 3 videos during the day. I was watching a video earlier on about the actor, well, not about the actor, but from the actor who did the I Am David Blake. Um, please do and go have a watch that film if you want to see how being on the dole and that is really like cut the bullshit that is how it is. Hello, Kyle. How you doing, my brother? But he was saying some things that obviously are true, are touching a nerve. I've seen it. You've most probably seen it, and I just watched it a second ago. Nationalism. This whole we're better than them, they're not as good as us kind of mentality. The whole make America great again. Well, I'd like somebody to let me know when America was first of all great. From the inception of that country till now, I can't really point out very many good things compared to the bad things. But he was saying, when you focus on number one, so let's say for instance America looking out for themselves, there isn't make America good again and then there's a little bit for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Single-minded. They're only interested in making America great. Sounds a bit like the British Empire, if anybody knows anything about history, how that was. The British were right no matter what. I just watched a video. It says it was dated the 1st of February, but like you say, it could be archive footage of Nazis, I think are the better way of putting it. The reason I say that is they were doing what we are now known as the Hitler salute. I believe it had another name before that madman came along. Sig Heil, the whole arm gesture and everything, and their mentality. We are a Christian country. No, this is their words, not mine. We are a Christian country. That Islam is a threat to us. But it only seems to be Islam that's a threat to us. There's not, Christians, other Christians, other branches of Christianity are a problem to them, or Judaism, or Buddhism. Do you know what I'm saying? Being but this is just the Muslims. Do you know what I'm saying? And how we were supposed to, it's all about national pride and being proud of our country. Well, like I said before, I'd like somebody to tell me when America was once great. I'd like you to tell me something that I should be proud of my country for. My grandfather fought for this country. He was Polish. He came and fought for our country. My grandmother, my Jamaican grandmother, helped us as a nurse. So, yeah, I should have some national pride, some pride for my country. But it doesn't mean I'm going out beating other majorities with sticks with my face covered. There's a lot of people out there that obviously criticise the things that I say and the things that I do. I don't want to ask you to make a comparison between Donald Trump and Adolf Hitler, because I think many people have said it. I don't want you to focus on, you know, the ban or the segregation or the exclusion of 7 countries because of terrorism. Their words, not mine. Even though the facts say that 15 out of the 19 so-called bombers of 9/11, the worst atrocity apparently on American soil, you know, not including Pearl Harbor, were from Saudi Arabia. I'm not going to point out that Donald Trump has a golf course in Saudi Arabia. I'm not going to point that out because it's already there. It's out there. You know, you can read all of this. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not me telling you anything new. But I would like to say that I'd like you not to fall into the trap of turning on your own. As many of you know, in the local area that I live in, you know, these are the ones, you know, this is to the people obviously that know me personally, see me on a daily basis. We are, you know, we have Muslims, whether they be the Syrian displaced human beings, whether they're converts. 9/11 was an inside job. Well, thank you, Jock, for that, you know, that incision, but we'll go by what the media have told us ever since, you know, 9/11 happened. But let's go with what the facts are. We don't want to be melting people's brains, because then we would have to explain to people that, you know, mathematics came from the Middle East, and were taught by, I don't want to say African, because I don't believe they come from Africa. I believe they came from Mesopotamia or somewhere like that. Do you know what I'm saying? But this isn't me pointing out things. This is just me speaking my mind, because at the end of the day, as much as you could be on the left, you could be on the right, whether you're SNP, whether you're Tory, whether you're Lib Dem, whether you're UKIP, you should have enough honour, enough respect for yourself not to turn on your own. It's a divide and conquer game. I don't think I need to point that out, but it's a divide and conquer game. If it wasn't, you wouldn't have so many parties for so little shit. You know, their job, you know, with all these parties and all these other, you know, figureheads, should be to better mankind, to better their communities, to better the areas that they live in, the countries that they live in. I don't think drawing up walls and battle lines and this is going to help. You know, fear is what they're using to divide and conquer. Fear is working. You know, like Jock said, there's an inside job. 9/11. I believe 7/7 was an inside job, but along the lines of the evidence that I've seen, that 9/11 was an inside job. But we're not going to go into that, because we have to focus on the future. We're not going to focus on the past. I've noticed that a few of you have, you know, on Facebook, obviously because I put these videos on YouTube, on Facebook, have noticed that there are a lot of anti-Trump and pro-Trump rallies coming up. As I've said in my previous videos, there is a for Donald Trump to come for a state visit, and against. I don't think it makes any difference. Theme tune to Blair's Labour was "Things Can Only Get Better, What the Fuck, etc. 7/7 also an inside job. We all know it was." Sorry, I'm just reading the comments to everybody else that obviously I don't think you can see what I'm writing. I think you can, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, but that's what I believe, guys. Do you know what I'm saying? I believe that 7/7 was an inside job. I believe that 9/11 was an inside job. The reason, you know, I have more evidence towards 9/11 being an inside job due to my previous statement where I said that 15 out of the 19 so-called terrorists come from Saudi Arabia. Yet they're not on the list for the exclusion. Yet apparently that's where, you know, they don't have any terrorists. Do you know what I'm saying? That's also a good point. You know, terrorism. You know, I could, if I wanted to, type into the CIA funded Google and find out terrorism. But I know what it means. Not only do I know what it means, I actually know what the people use it for. It's to push political means by using violence. Is what I believe it is. You know, like I say, I could type into the CIA controlled Google and find out, but I'm not going to, because I'm speaking my mind using the knowledge that I have in my mind, whether you believe it right or wrong. We live in a world of uncertainty where the Project Fear wasn't just for Brexit, it's used every day. I'm not against Donald Trump. He is just an individual carrying out a mandate passed to him by somebody above his pay grade. If nobody else can see that by now, then I'm sorry, that's what's happening. You must have noticed the amount of violence that's happened in America and here, not just with Donald Trump, but with opinions, views. You know, I want to touch on the Scottish independence, how much faith or aberration I have for that. Because obviously the Scottish people do feel deceived, not only with the independence vote falling flat on its face as far as I'm concerned, but also not having their voices listened to where Brexit's concerned. If they weren't going to listen to you after you stood up and said that you wanted to be independent, do you really think they were going to listen to you for Brexit or a second vote? This is my opinion. I'm not saying that the Brexit vote's a bad idea. I'm not saying the independent vote's a bad idea. I just think we're focusing on the wrong things. Do you know what I'm saying? Whilst we're focusing on the initiation of Article 50, you know, we're selling planes to terrorists, to what we would call, what they would call terrorists if they weren't funding it. Yet we are being, you know, distracted with something else, you know, and it's all just a big distraction technique. You know, it's sleight of hand. It's what they can get away with without you knowing. I want to give you my own view on what I believe will happen next. Now, I'm not saying in the next month, next year, next 10 years, in my lifetime or my children's lifetime. But I believe that we will all come together in one shape or form. We'll either come together and form a utopia where we can all live, different colours, different creeds, together peacefully, or, like Einstein said, World War III will be fought with nuclear weapons, World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. And with that lovely, terrible, miserable thought, I leave you there. I hope that you'll give me a watch on YouTube to watch not only this video but the other videos that I have. Please give me a comment, give me a like, give me a dislike if you don't agree, but please, whatever you do, whether it's good or bad, the thumbs up or the thumbs down, please put a comment of why. You know, your opinions are necessary in the fight forward. Your views, you are the master of your own destiny, and sitting behind the computer wanting to be a part of, you know, the future, the revolution, whatever you want to call it, is no longer good enough. You know, I'm not forcing anybody to do something they don't want to do, but you all have an opinion. Whether you voice it is down to yourself. I can only encourage. So as usual, guys, from me, it's peace and love.